See, as a woman, and I see it as medicine, right? And I use it for medicinal purposes and to relax and to meditate, you name it. But Blue Dream is the one that works best for like my women PMS symptoms. So if
Just
there's any
muscle
girls
through it and power through it.
you know, if there's any women that suffer from it, and I know that they'll know what I'm talking about, get you some Blue Dream strain. Whether you smoke it, eat it, that's just gonna help you.
Oh, we're growing a lot of that too. Right
It's honestly my favorite when it comes to that because it helps completely. And and it's the alternate of like Midol over the counter stuff, which is gonna just ruin your stomach lining, just be super gross to your body.
What do you say a Blue Dream would be? Is it like a sativa 70-30?
That I don't know.
It's a sativa.
70-30, 60-40, what do you think?
I mean, we can look it up.
We should look it up. I think I'm close on that one, but
I know it's a pure sativa.
right, yeah. I love Blue Dream myself, and it's for that reason. It's
For your menstrual period.
for my menstrual period. You know, every men have a menstrual period.
No, we do.
Every 12 minutes.
No, not.
You go through it, right?
No,
you go
we
through
do.
it.
No, there's a dude phase. Or something.
There is.
I agree.
There is.
It's
There
hard to
is.
recognize when you're young, I guess, but when you're looking back, you're like, oh my God. And
As
it took a friend to tell me, hey, there's such a thing as him. And he started telling me some things. I'm like, that's what I think about. Oh my God, yeah, I do get kind of weird before or after a moon or whatever.
Well,
you know what I
smoke
mean?
you some Blue Dream, and then it'll help you with the symptoms for sure. For sure.
Which is a
Start crying.
sativa.
Cry too much.
Yeah.
So, as a massage therapist, would you encourage your is it your patient, your subject,
Client,
your
my
client?
clients.
Okay. Would you encourage them to maybe take an edible or do a little stash before their
For sure,
stash?
if it's a client who is 420 friendly, yeah, for sure. For the most part, they are. So some of them are already pre-seshed when I arrive. Some of them want to do it when I first get there, like, hey, you want to smoke before? So it definitely helps them just get to that full relaxation mode, right? Because I start moving their body around and their toxins, and their mind is just kind of relaxed and on another level, for sure.
That's what it's about, relaxations. You're right. Yeah, of course.
And if they choose to do a CBD massage, then they're getting that those nutrients, through their skin as well as having smoked it before or eaten an edible.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes, the boo-boos and everything, my body aches, so an edible, if I could get my hands on an edible, and I'm over like 100 milligram kind of guy or higher on the dosing. So people get turned off of edibles is because they had their one bad experience with an edible, and I hear stories all the time like, oh, I had like 5 gummies. I'm like, you should just bit the head off of one, or just kind of wait. People are jump the gun because an edible can
Because
take.
you don't feel anything
It
right
can take
away.
30 minutes to an hour maybe for the.
I've lived with
And it
that.
depends if you're on a full stomach, because I've been on a full stomach and I ate my edible and it kicked in way later versus like an empty stomach, which was
Immediately.
emptier stomach. And then how much matters. Everybody's metabolic,
Everybody's different.
rate is different and physiology is different. So
Right.
like what works for Claude, maybe hits me way way more severe.
Yeah, I don't know, and they all hit me the same. You know, I get fucked up no matter
It's
what.
a tolerance thing too.
Yeah.
Like, the more you
For
take,
sure,
but
for sure.
Yeah.
but like a good edible for nighttime, yeah. Learn and then learn when to take it. Take it at 5. So if you're
So
gonna,
you get
if you know
right.
you go to bed at 9 o'clock, take it about 4 or 5. That way the effects kick in. Get your bath in. You know, make a routine, a little ceremony about it.
I agree,
You know,
totally.
and you know, take an Epsom salt bath. Do something. There's something with it. You know, don't let
Yeah.
Right,
let a couple
yeah.
things work for you.
Yes,
Have your
Frank knows how
have
to
your
do
glass of
it.
wine or whatever.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love it. That's
Light up another
That's-
joint
I mean,
while
treat
you
your
live one
body
day.
to like, you
self-care.
You said that
Hashtag.
you said that
self-care.
that shit job you don't like all day, like spoil
8
yourself
to
a
5,
little bit,
you hate it,
or
yeah.
like you're digging ditches all day, or
Exactly.
yeah,
No, for sure, for
your
sure.
feet hurt, do something about
Making
it.
money for everybody
Yeah,
else.
or we could, I mean,
Call me for a massage.
See?
Mom. Yes, we could do it.
But yeah, an edible or an indica, or I do dab. So a lot of people don't know, or that looks cracky and methy, you know, they.
For sure. That's so funny that you say that, because I used to work at this call center many years ago when I first started like working, and I befriended this guy and we started talking about smoking, and I'm like, he's like, you wanna smoke? Yeah, let's smoke. I got some in my car. We walk out to the car and I pull out a brand new piece that I just bought, and it was glass. Glass pieces had just barely started coming out back then, or were more popular. But my smart self thought, okay, let me wrap it in some foil paper and just to hide the smell. So when the dude gets in the car and we're gonna have our little sesh, and I pull out the pipe, he's like, wait, what are you smoking? He thought it was gonna be like some crazy drug. I'm like, well, weed. Like, what are we doing? He's like, oh my god, like, that's good because that kind of looks suspect. He said, I'm sorry, I just bought this pipe. Like, I really thought it was cool. Yeah, that was really funny to me. He was just really freaked out. He thought I was gonna be some crackhead or something.
You're with Kailin Woods.
What's going on? What's going on?
You know, welcome. Thank you for being here, man. You know?
Definitely appreciate you having me.
Now we just so everyone knows, Kailin is the creator of all the music that you've heard throughout the show. You know, the background that we hear, the in between all the segments that it comes from him, and you know, I wanted to highlight that. You know, because it's important to the show. You know, it's what it's giving the episodes life.
Right.
So tell me, you know, we've the way you work. Talk to me about how you create. Like what's like, you know, you have your own style, and you know, I was always you know, drawn to it. I was like, hey, this guy's got something. Let's get him in the studio. Let's work with him. So just tell us about like how you work. Like what inspires you? What gets you going? How you do it? You know.
It's been a long road here. I'll definitely say that. I started out, you know, always wanting to do music. I actually started on a cell phone with a MIDI keyboard. I was like bound and determined. I didn't have a laptop, but I was like, hey, that's not gonna stop me. So I just kept going. I've always loved jazz music, so that's been something that's really been a strong influence on a lot of my stuff. And just doing something different, like really making your beat talk to people, if that makes sense. Like, there were a lot of things that I went through that I wasn't really able to speak out on, but I found that throughout those times when I did music, that feeling or that thought would be completely spoken without me ever having to say a word.
Right.
So whenever I open up the door, it's just like, all right, you know, I might have had a day where I'm like, oh, I need to get this off my chest, and there it is. So it's kind of like my journal that I'm able to allow other people to hear, and they can really enjoy it. And when they are able to enjoy that, it really makes me feel even better because it's like, wow, that message was completely conveyed.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to that's actually an excellent way to put it. You know, it is your journal, it is your catalog, you know, like your personal thoughts, you know, and but you know, expressed into music,
right?
You know, so I completely agree. The first time, you know, you showed me that first track, or when I asked you, hey, what, you do music? This is you, you know. All right, I was like, hey, no, this is good. This is good. This got something. This has something, you know. So now I'm glad we were working on this, you know. So yeah, no, like everyone, you know, we started on. Man, I even started on fucking you know, tape recorders, you know.
Right.
Tape recorders, and you know, in my nana's house with like, hey, with some tapes, and like, hey man, let's play some acoustic guitars here, see how they sound. These ugly keyboards, and you know, it was awful. It sounded awful, you
right.
know, but here, oh man, we're mixing. Something is happening, you know.
You're loving every single piece of
it's
it.
It's like, hey, how about we put a second boombox here and have it record what this one is recording, and then we can mix it over here. It was awful. The worst ideas, you know, to have. So, but hey, we were still like, hey, we're getting something here.
Exactly.
We're getting some sort of mix here, you know. It sounds awful, and like, you
but
know,
it works though.
But it works, yeah.
Yep.
So
it served the purpose that you were looking for.
yeah, and then you know, it gets into the real thing, and it slowly starts getting to the real thing. So you know, and now we've come to a very interesting era in the digital world now, and the way we make music now. You know, like everything's valid.
Yeah,
everything's valid now. So you know, you just have to be the most creative or very creative. Or,
definitely.
You know, or just have it all: talent, creativity, and luck. You know, so
right.
you know, and the look, you know, the luck and look.
Definitely. A lot of the stuff now is very fast paced, and you have to be in a place where you are ready when that time happens, because you never know. You could be making like this right here. Like I wouldn't have thought, you know, this would be a whole background track for, you know, a whole podcast, but here we are. And you just have to constantly hone your craft, constantly be on it, constantly be ready for whatever. Because ever since I started making music, I haven't stopped. Like every day, at least one track. Just because you have to constantly learn, constantly grow to really know what it is that can and can't be done. And with music, there isn't really too much that can't be done, or as long as you learn the rules of what it is that makes it sound that way.
What are you guys into when it comes to dabbing, or what do kids call it these days?
People are gonna go for convenience first, so like, you know, the pen tops are really, you know, popular. Wherever they come from out there. So you're gonna see everybody just, I'm so cool, like,
well, they're vaping.
It's legal now,
and I'm vaping.
But
I'm not smoking, I'm vaping.
But you got people that should be, you know, they still don't want the THC no matter what. Like there's CBD pen tops, and I know they sell stuff like that at CBD head shops, right?
I think so, yeah, for sure. I don't really dab per se. I prefer flower, to be honest. So I can't really say. Hey,
But you vape? How about vape?
I do vape.
What do you got? Let's show us. What do you got?
It's a concentrate. That's what I meant. Dabbing is hardcore, I would say.
I don't know what I have. I have so many little pens.
What's in there? We're nosy in this show. Claudia's never. That's what we do. We're, you know, type of journalism.
I've got here. You'll get to try the brand new one, because the other one's kind of. This is gonna be some citrusy shit.
Okay.
Taste it.
Citrusy.
See if you can find out what name it is.
Let's see.
lemon or orange.
Is it citrusy?
Get a close up. Get a close up.
It's like, yeah, definitely citrus. And then, of course, there's the vape stuff involved.
So that's as much. This is really convenient for me because of work, and of course I don't always want to.
That's a convenient,
Yes. So it's definitely a convenience.
Some sort of haze. It's very hazy. So citrusy, hazy, some sort of lemon haze, some sort of like that. Huh? Yeah.
I still have the box at home. I just get them gifted to me. This is how the universe treats me. So cute.
I can't place it. But
is it good? Do you like it?
Yeah.
So
it's not a downer.
But I still prefer flour, definitely, over anything. Flour is always going to be my go-to.
We can't always light up a bowl
Exactly.
in your car.
Exactly. And then you got to break it and clean it. It's just a lot
of people are on the go. So here we go.
Which is why these little guys come in handy. There's all sizes, colors.
Right. And, pre-COVID, rec, you couldn't, you could, but you like still got in trouble for it. You couldn't really smoke a lot in concerts, so those little babies came in, yeah. Of course, yeah. Of course, like KFMA days and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you light up a huge joint while
true smokers are
sheriff
always
is there
gonna light up.
in
front of the sheriffs and all.
In front of the sheriff, next to the sheriffs. Yeah.
But
these came in convenient once. You're like, hey, one joint is not enough. Let's bring 5, and
right, for sure.
Some of those.
Not even that. That could be a live resin top.
Right.
And those things.
Right. Yeah, heavy hitters. Yeah.
Yeah. The potency on that oil.
Right.
Yep.
This isn't the end. We still have so many projects that we're gonna work on, and I'm glad that this is the first project that we're working on. We will definitely, I've talked to you about like recording an actual album here, with different artists from here in town, even more south than even other people from Nogales, Phoenix, California, maybe New Mexico. I do have these great connections with these great musicians in these places, so we can bring them together. Now it's so much easier to do these recordings, wherever you are. We can still record and still mix it correctly, and it'll work. So
and that's the benefit of now.
Oh yeah,
you do have that ability to not have to be right next to each other to make something that can be added to an album or a song. But it does always give you that extra benefit when you're able to be in the same room, because you do, especially with music, you draw off of the energy of those around you. So something you may have started off thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go this way, because someone else started to vibe in a different way. You're like, oh, I could incorporate that too, and you have a whole new idea that would not have been birthed if that wasn't around.
Right. And the whole purpose of the show and the whole purpose of these recordings we're speaking about is to bring it to there's so much hidden talent. There's so much hidden talent, and I'm like, hey, you need to be at least do it once. Do it once and do it right. So let me give you the opportunity. Let me give you the platform so you can do it. You just have to come and do your thing,
Yeah.
So that is something that we will do, and then we've talked about further films that I'm producing, further films that I will be directing. There's so much music to be made, so we will be working together in the long road, man. So
Oh yeah. Looking forward to it.
yeah. So once again, Kailin Woods, thank you for your help. Thank you for being on the show. We will definitely keep in touch with our audience and keep them updated of everything we're working on.
Definitely will do. Definitely will do.
Cool. Well, thank you for being on the Claudius Network show.
I appreciate it.